here, I'm removing both valve covers. The valve covers have 4 bolts apiece, and it's just a 10mm socket that I'm using to remove them. Now that I have removed the valve covers, I am now going to take the intake manifold off. The intake manifold has 12 bolts. You can use either a 10mm socket or a 3/8 socket. This new intake came with metric bolts, so I used a combination of a 10mm and a 3/8 socket. Now with the bolts removed, I am ready to take the intake manifold off of the engine block. I am using a screwdriver to create a wedge between the intake manifold and the engine so I can remove it. It took a little couple tries to wedge it in different places, but I did eventually get it removed. Now we're going to remove the front timing cover. To do so, you have to remove the first 4 oil pan bolts. To take off the front timing cover, you will need a 3/8 socket, and all you really have to do is to remove the 8 bolts that is holding the timing cover to the block of the engine. With the timing cover bolts removed, now it's time to remove the timing cover. With the timing cover removed, the timing chain and timing sprockets actually look pretty good for an engine that's 40 plus years old. There's really no wear and tear. There's not really that much looseness in the timing chain itself, which makes me wonder if it's been changed before since there's an aftermarket cover on it. But we're here anyway, so we might as well remove it. Alright, I'm doing 2 things here with the same goal attached. Right here, I'm trying to line up both of the sprocket indicators to make sure that when I line them up, the engine is at top dead center. Even though the engine was running before, I'm just trying to leave this as simple as possible for myself. So I'm just lining up both of the top sprocket and the bottom sprocket's indicators together and just making sure that that actually is top dead center. Now that I have the engine at top dead center and I've double checked that the sprocket marks line up, I am now loosening up the rocker arms and I am going to remove the push rods. And to loosen up the rocker arms, you'll need a 9/16 socket. I'm about to take the lifters out. They're kind of hard for me to grasp. So what I'm using is a magnet and a paper towel. Taking the magnet, putting it right on the lifter, and just pulling it right on up. You see the magnet, it literally pulls it up. Oh, this was a good one. And then just pull it. Some of them, it's not pulling them up that easy. Well, those last two were easy. All right, once you remove the lifters and the push rods, now the camshaft is free to come out. But before, you do that, you have to take the timing gears off. So here I use a pry bar to wedge the top timing gear that goes to the camshaft off. And it comes off pretty easy. But then I have a hard time on actually getting the camshaft out. So what I used was one of the bolts that actually go to the front timing cover, and I started the beginning of the thread into the holes into the camshaft, and it was actually able for me to pull the front half of the camshaft out, and then I just rotated on out of the engine completely. Thanks for watching the video. Please hit the subscribe and like button for more content.